and the Ruby Crystal.
He actually did that exact same thing last game too, as a pickaxe rush. In all honesty, he just wants as much AD as possible so they can go for those early kills. He's so confident with the positioning, he doesn't care.
Here we go, 3-man pushing in on towards this top turret. Jack's actually going to get involved because Diamond Prox is coming around. The Counter-Strike not having the desired effect, doesn't get the stun off onto any of them, but they may just try and go for something here. No, it's more a case of protecting that tower, keeping it safe. Obviously, Flame is level 7 now. You've got that Kale ultimate coming in. The Ambition has hit level 6, so Azubu is still dangerous at this point.
Again, just on his own down the bottom here. Lustboy trying to poke him out, trying to force him away. As Gosu Pepper had covered off, or Edward as he's now known. Obviously Edward being his first name. I guess he's followed Alex's flow and decided to go with that route. That's fine. We will keep him on that one. So Genja keeping the damage on towards Captain Jack, keeping the poke down, being aggressive, as we've not seen in a long time, but certainly seems to be working out for him. Top lane Darian also keeping some free farm going. He's pressuring down. Flame has been back. He's got himself his first giant belt of the game. I expect to see many of those following, but Flame's getting pressured on by Darian in that mid lane. 56 to 52 between Alex Ich and Ambition, and they are just slowly but surely gaining any advantage they can. 3-1 currently in kills and a 2k gold difference to Gambit Gaming.
One thing Gambit has to take a lot of care in is every lane they have is actually losing in CS right now, across the board. So Azubu is able to farm despite all the roaming. They're going to have to make that roaming work a little bit better, because if they just continue to let Azubu farm like this, it's going to get real dangerous, especially with Vayne.
Vayne is doing a good job here. I mean, 66 to 58 CS, as you said, ahead on that front as well. Jax has actually come down now from that top lane. Obviously, pushed it all the way out. Tower's already down, so wants to make his presence a little bit more felt. As Zinchar was actually being spotted there. They pinged up to his position. There's a ward down there who's just stood over the top of it. As Darian going to put Counter-Strike on and back away from this turret. Zinchar is still hanging around there, but they've got total vision of him. They're not going to get lulled into this one again.
Yeah, he's going to try and sneak down into that bush. He's actually wasting a lot of time. Captain Jack and Dustboy very much prepared for this one. He has got Crescendo available should he try anything crazy. Gambol coming out, but he does manage to get caught by Genja's quick shot there. Well, they're going to keep farming. Vayne out farming in Ezreal. That's a danger right there, isn't it, Jack?
It's a pretty big danger for them. Captain Jack is an incredibly good Vayne. Way back at MLG Dallas, it actually got banned out against him every game. But Diamond has actually stuck around so long in this bottom lane, they probably think he's gone. And now he actually is. So I guess it's fine.
Nothing really happening for him at that side of it after being stood on that ward for so long. Captain Jack here just going to let that wave push up towards his turret, try and hit everything and get that all under control. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we are seeing Jax go back in. Darian actually got that Doran's blade in there as well, while down at bottom, actually, they're killing each other. Captain Jack going very, very low. Mundo coming in from that backside. Can they get away? Captain Jack can't afford to get involved in case they turn around onto him. There is a flash in the end from Genja, but Kale is coming down as well.
Ambition is coming go, but also is Xin Zhao behind him. He's going to pop his ult roller, but see, will it be enough? He's going to get dazzled out here. Captain Jack returned back to lane as well, but they do manage to fend them all off. Alex was coming down, but he's too little too late, and Diamond Prox is keeping on this one, but they're all going to back away.
And at the start of all that, Genja and Edward actually killed Lustboy straight through a Shen ult and nearly took out Captain Jack too. That was everyone of Azubu pretty much trying to help out, and really just Genja and Edward taking them on. So all that aggression they've been showing in the past 3 games, they are just so hot right now. They are just playing amazingly.
Gold stays at 2,000, the lead for Gambit, and there is the dragon up again. Obviously, first one already took around about 6-minute mark by Gambit. The question is now, will Azubu try and do anything for this next spawn of it? They are certainly, they've certainly got the numbers down on this south side of the map. But we have here Alex Ich in the middle. There's Edward actually just put that pink ward down as well in front of the dragon. So they've got complete vision of that area. And again, you see 2 pink wards almost right next to each other. That's something that we've seen time and time again today in these best of 3s from Edward.
Yeah, and he is going to be clearing out that area. Alex picks up the blue buff. The rest of Moscow 5, aka Gambit Gaming now. They changed organizations just before this tournament. are going to get in towards this, and honestly, I don't see Azubu reacting to this one. I think they feel they can't get it. They're not in a position. You can see everybody's out of sight, and it is going to be a second dragon of the game for Gambit Gaming.
And I just want to get back to Edward a little bit more. He's doing different support styles than most supports in this tournament. Everyone else is pretty much going 1 to 2 gold per 10 items and a ruby sightstone. Edward just goes no GP 10 items and pink wards early. Doesn't even care about the sightstone. They're trying to win early with pressure, and thus far it's working great.
There is Edward. You can see him causing problems. He might get picked out, though. He goes very aggressive in towards Lustboy. Alex tries to follow him. He's going to get condemned straight away. Crescendo from Lustboy. This is backfired, and Edward's going to go down. It's a double kill for Helios now. Darian thought about trying to join in. Instead, now Helios is going to chase down on Darian to manage to avoid the cleaver. Will back away. Meanwhile, the mid turret, there's a lot of pressure on that one from Diamond Prox and Genja. They're keeping on there. Ambition gets on towards Genja now. He's going to keep him back, and Genja's trying to put anything on towards his mid turret. It's not going to happen.
The ward that is in between Azubu's bottom turrets really just won them that double kill entirely. With all the pink wards that Gambit had in the river, Alex thought there was no way they would see that gank coming, but they baited it out perfectly. As soon as Alex showed himself, Helios landed his Mundo Cleaver, and it cleaned up an easy double kill. Oh,
this could be dangerous. So Darian actually going in. Actually will get knocked back there by Captain Jack, who keeps himself safe. So they've brought him back to 4-3. There's still that decent gold lead coming out because Gambit have had those 2 dragons that have come up so far. There we can see actually Mundo coming up through in towards that tri-bush. Not going to get anything from that one. There's a ton of ward coverage on that bottom side of the map now, but I think Gambit feel a little bit worried that they might be getting dove here.
It's a 4-on-4 possibly down the bottom. They're going to try and hold on before that turret gets taken down. It will go down. Helios is the target. He's going to get dropped very low. You can see Darian goes in. Darian's going to have to back out. True Shot Barrage comes across, but it missed its target, and Genja comes back in, forces them away, but turret was taken by Azubu Blaze.
Nice work once again to bring that one, bring the turret count back into their favour, and the gold also still now remaining at that 1,000 difference. In terms of items, some Fire Cape just being finished off there by Shen. We've got the Locket of the Iron Solari as well done for Xin Shao, and Catalyst there on Ryzen again. He's gone. Home Guard very, very early on.
Yeah, the Iron Solari is also coming out very early, like you mentioned. It's something that Darian's been building so quick.
And it's really interesting the way that he's built it every single game in Almost a Rush. Way back in Season 2, when Moscow 5 was really making a break for it, they were pretty much the first team to build Zeke's Herald a lot as well, and they massed a lot of the auras. And in this situation, the other team's massing Lock of the Iron Solari, and then they also never build Aegis, which is strange, as they die bottom.
Lustboy getting absolutely pounced on. Stan United going to get used though. They're going to turn it on towards them. Darian's going to get caught. He manages to jump away. Genja will have his Hurricane Shift a moment. Will it come up though? He's trying to try and get away just in time, and he got deleted before he went through. Caught out as he used it, trying to get the perfect position, and didn't have flash available. He had to just get the right spot to use that Arcane Shift.
After such a great start here from Gambit, you can see the spirit that Azubu Blaze have here. It's like they started to fall behind. They got crushed in game number 1. They kept the heads up though, and they've managed to pull this one back in the kills. And now Edward could be in trouble. Actually decides not to force him, and as I say, that even pushed in a little bit further. But they're going to try and lock down Diamond Prox and Alex Itchy. Helios is going around. Cleaver dodged nicely by Alex. Diamond going to juke around there through that rush. The slow will come out by Kale. There is Edward to put the stun down if they need it, and they can even turn this one around. Helios taking the brunt of the damage, but it's just not enough. They back off.
Yeah, it's just about in time there. They're going to leap in though. Darian tries to get on towards Flame there. Immediately knocked away. Back on towards Flame. They're keeping on him. The exhaust is down. And now Gambit are the pursuers. They're going to chase around. Captain Jack's avoiding the damage. Can they force something from this? There's not really a great many options there. And Flame is going to get away quickly. Shadow Dash us off.
Gambit not being able to chase down any kills despite seemingly having a really large positional advantage in that team fight is a bad sign for them if they want to win this game. They had the big lead. They've given up 3 kills trying to dive the turret bottom. Despite not doing really any damage to it, they're getting a little bit out-farmed in some of the lanes. Flame is getting quite fed in all this. They aren't probably able to take this mid turret down, but they have been letting this game slip away, and they got to be really careful because Azubu Blaze scales really well.
Now we see Captain Jack just coming a little bit too late. Nicely done from Genja, finishing off that outer turret in the middle, so both teams losing that one. That brings us back to level in terms of the turrets. Here we go. Genja going to be tracked down by Captain Jack, who's done a great job. Arcane Shift, though, will save him over towards those raids. And now it looks like they're going to try and close in on towards Daria, and there are 3 of them there. Kale's coming from that backside. Darian's going to have to do something amazing with this one. There goes the slow. He's not getting out of that one alive.
That was the Darian of old, getting caught out of position. That's the kind of things that I thought he'd moved away from, but clearly not when he goes on towards Jackson. He could not get away. 5-4 now as Azubu plays. Tracking and keeping up with Gambit Gaming. Just 1k behind in gold still, even in turrets, but that top turret is perilously close to going down. There's a 4-man stack pushing in for it.
And they're up by 1,000 gold, that is Gambit Gaming, but I feel like they're letting this game slip away. They're trying to engage up top, though.
Here we go, Diamond going to get the knock up there on towards Lustboy. Will use the ultimate as well, but can they follow in with this one? There goes the ultimate out of Ezreal, but can they catch in there? We've got Tariq and Rise coming around the side. Vayne actually flashes away. Use Cleanse in there as well. Flash from Flame. They're going to turn it around, taking down Helios there, and they're going to keep pushing. Can they get any more from this? Flash over the top, and that is bad times for Ambition. He's used his ultimate. Slows Alex Hitch. Are they going to be able to catch him? Yes, with the flash. Here comes Stan United, though. Is it going to be in time? Yes, just about, but Genja isn't finished just yet. He's splitting up. He needs one more auto attack here onto Ambition. Can they get around? Zinchao is going to catch him. Diamond gets the kill. 7-5 to Gambit.
Well, very close stuff. Crazy chasing across the map. It started off in the bottom. It nearly finished in the bottom area there. Crazy stuff. And the dragon just comes up in time, and they're going to jump straight towards it. And it's going to be the 3rd dragon of the game for Gambit. Gaming to extend the gold lead to 4,000.
Right when we said they might be losing control of the game or giving up their lead, they get it back again. That was a tremendous chase. They used their summoner spells very smartly, and they actually burned almost everything from Azubu Blaze during that engagement as well.
So Gambit Gaming, 20 minutes into this one. They have the 1-0 lead. They're going to chase on towards Edward, but Darian's back in there again. Is this too little too late? Captain Jack pops his ultimate. They're on towards Darian. Darian trying his best to get on towards him. Crescendo comes out from Lustboy. Isn't enough. True Shot Barrage flashes across. Captain Jack taken down incredibly low. The rest of the team now coming in, but they've burned everything in the last fight. They have no flashes, and Captain Jack just lifesteal his way off that red buff and Gambit back away.
They both managed to survive that one there in the end. Obviously, Captain Jack low, Darian super low, but neither of them actually going down. So that leaves us 25,500 to 29.4. 7-5 in the kills. Let's have a look at the distribution. Zinchao has a lot of them, let's just say that. 4-0-2, there's 1 on Alex Hitch, there's 1 down for Genja, and as per usual, there's 1 on Edward as well. Over on the other side, it's 3 kills for Mono, 1 for Kale. You know, Vayne was leading the CS early on, got 4 assists in there, but not racking up the kills that Azubu Blaze would have liked at this point, I guess.
Yeah, Darian keeping the pressure on that bottom turret, slowly but surely building that Trinity Force up, so tons of damage will be coming out from him once he gets down there. He's going to have Diamond backing him up, his almost lane buddy of late, as Darian chunks down with the most satisfying sound in League of Legends. It is a Jack beating on a turret. The rest of the team also coming down here, so 4 men down here now. They realise they can see where they can pick anything up. They're immediately going for the red invade. It has been taken away by Captain Jack just a moment ago, as we saw though.
Yeah, and that's more map control going over towards Gambit. They've now got all 3 outer turrets down and move on to the next phase of their game of trying to take the next ones. There's Darian just spotting out Helios. Couldn't quite get the 3 auto attacks off there. As we get a close-up of wards, in case you forgot what they look like. Cheers, Banky.
Just keeping us updated and relevant. They're going to try and go up towards the top. No, it's going to back away immediately. The moment Alex, anyone made the move, they have that ward in the middle so they can cover it off there. Anyone that made their move towards Flame at the top, and he's backed straight away. The Shen split push, they're trying it. It's kind of working. He's got a 60 CS advantage over Darian currently, but is it too late?
And they're trying to hold off the Shen split push with Rise, which is kind of working for now because, at least at the moment, Flame has stacked armor to lane against Jax, and then Rise is doing enough damage to be able to duel him in that lane. That won't be the case forever, however, and the Aegis of Legion did get completed on Diamond. That's something they hadn't built in the past few games. Could just be the luxury of having 4 kills. They're not against the item, it appears.
You can see that Rod of Ages now is going to be finished up on Rise. Obviously, the Sorcerer shoes from earlier on also going to be moving forward here as well. Tia's been there for a while, stacking that one up. So, what is next here for Gambit? What is their next move in this game? You see Azubu just clearing out those middle and top lanes, and Alex is just waiting. He's just going to keep going for that push.
Yeah, what is next for Azubu? That's the question. They're going to try and pin down on towards Darian. Captain Jack, he's been trying to create something from nothing for a while here. They are going to get Edward joining Alex in and around that blue buff. He's going to come around. Is there a pink ward going to go down? Yes, I think Edward's just taking it down. I'm pretty sure he's put a pink ward down on the blue, and he has indeed. And immediately you see Ambition come back in. They put a pink ward down. It's a ward fight, ladies and gentlemen. But oh, he puts another pink down. Oh dear, Edward, forever the troll, and he is going to find himself. The rest of the team starting to group up here, and this is, look at this, they've had to full man the wolves now. Azubu starting to really maybe feel a little bit of pressure I feel from Gambit Gaming here.
Yeah, I can definitely expect that one, especially now with the scenario that we've got here. Gambit Gaming destroyed them in game number 1. They surrendered it, and probably rightly so. If you feel like you're never going to win a game, it's sometimes best to use that surrender that's there and, say, well, let's just forget about that one and move on to the next game.
And there's also the fact that Gambit just destroyed their sister team in Azubu Frost in the semi-final themselves, so all the momentum coming through from Gambit Gaming, I have to agree with the surrender in all honesty though. You just forget about the earlier things. Much like Gambit Gaming forgot about their group stage where they went 1 and 2 because they're completely different 2 days later.
Completely different, and we see it so often, but there is a heck of a lot of giant spells been stacked out. Double Warmarks they see from Flame and Helios. They're going to maybe try and chase this one down, realizing that Alex was in that top lane, so he was the one they were fearing. They were at 4v4. They thought they could maybe put a bit of pressure down. As it is, Captain Jack is farming out, trying to get beefier and beefier. Now, Jack, for me, Gambit Gaming have to kind of make this pressure count, because Captain Jack on Vayne is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger.
They really have to make their pressure count. They probably have a big enough lead, and you can tell they're trying to make action happen. Collapsing the map, going in now.
This could be bad news. Ambition using his ultimate on himself, while Flame taking the brunt of the damage. There goes a crescendo across Lust Boy going low. Wow. Captain Jack is now the focus, and they're going to lock down Ambition. Stan United coming in, but not quite. It's a double kill coming out for Genja. Helios trying to escape this one. He's got his ultimate running, but Darian going to leap in there, not quite getting it. Captain Jack now going to push him towards the wall, but didn't quite get the stun off there, and Ink, wow, flashing all over the place. Flame was taken down in the end. Genja will flash away from the turret, and that will be a 3-0.
3-0, great stuff there from Gambit. Really, they just engaged at the right time. It was Azubu that were looking for the fight, but Gambit had moved and rotated enough to be able to react, and now they're going to try and force a Baron at 26 minutes.
They're going to have to be able to kill this one pretty quick. I think they got caught out by the side of the ward, so Azubu Blaze does know they're going here. You can see Captain Jack working his way in that position. They'll see him in the ward. Baron's at about half health. They might have to peel off this one. I'm not sure how they're going to handle it.
And it looks like they are going to peel off there. Alex, it's starting to run off. Baron, of course, still tagged down to 3,000 HP. Down to 1,600. Here we go. They're going to take it. Nicely done, Gambit, with the first Baron of this second game.
3-2 in turrets. Gambit Gaming 10-5 in kills, and now 8,000 gold up with the Baron buff. They have the inner turrets now to take down. We saw them last game with that Baron buff. They managed to shred down all 3 inner turrets. Will they do the same again?
And right as we were talking about Gambit having to make a move, they fought. They had invaded the blue buff, and they just created action. They did not allow the split push to get to him. They went to the split pusher and forced a fight. Something that's making them fight so well is the repetitive diving they can do. Diamond Prox's Audacious Charge comes off cooldown so quickly, especially with the cooldown reduction he's getting from that Lock of the Iron Solari, and Darian's Leap Strike is on such a short cooldown as well, so they just continue to go over and over in fights. So even when Azubu's wanting to disengage, they're able to close the distance and get them.
Now we've just seen a turret brought back for Azubu Blaze. That leaves us at 3-3, but that gold lead is creeping towards the 10,000 in the items that we've just seen bought. There was a giant belt picked up by Diamond Prox. The Trinity Force is finished on Jax. You've got Last Whisper Bloodthirster in there. Last Whisper Bloodthirster now. Double Bloodthirster coming out. He wants to finish this game earlier on. And the Muramana as well finished on Rise.
Well, maybe he thinks he's got a time limit. Maybe he thinks he's in the group stage. He's got to finish this game quick or he's going to get knocked out of the tournament. I'm going to give you news here, Genja. You are absolutely destroying this tournament, and today he has been on fire. Genja, definitely one of the MVPs for me today. Of course, everyone will be thinking Peke may well take that title because of some heroics he did, but Diamond, Brox and Darien, they're going to dive up towards this one. They've gone towards Ambition, forced him away. True Shot Barrage flashes by. They're going to try and force him to use his vulnerability. He's had to use it on himself, and the crescendo comes out as a full-on defensive mechanism, but Lost Boy got dropped by Alex just before that happened, got the inner turret. They're going to wait for the second wave and continue pushing through.
And with the Baron buff, they're all going to be regenning up a whole bunch. The ultimates are completely spent aside from the Shen ult. They're just going to go for this inhibitor right here.
And they're going to go diving straight in towards Flame there. Captain Jack getting stunned up. They're going to go straight in.
What?
That is being absolutely exploded from the map. And this could be it. This could be a big, big push from Gambit. They're going to take the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor as well.
2 30-second plus death timers on Azubu. They might look to end right here. They have tons of armor and tankiness.
They've got the Siege Minion as well, and he's going to take a lot of hits. It's going to be the first Nexus turret of the game. The Intel Extreme Masters Eye in Katowice could well be picked up by Gambit Gaming. Every Intel Extreme Masters they come to, they win, and it is going to be the Russian team, the newly formed team, taking it home. 2-0, 2-0, both games against Azubu. They are the Korean destroyers, and they have taken it once again here at home.
The crowd here have a new favourite team, I think. They are on their feet. Everyone here, an amazing, amazing crowd as well. And that can happen when you've got the support of a crowd this big. That can really help you. And let's be honest, Gambit have been so confident all day. After they thrashed Frost, after they destroyed Blaze in game number 1, you'd have to be a crazy person to say that they were going to lose this second game.
This is the biggest momentum shift I've ever seen in a League of Legends tournament. Everyone thought Gambit Gaming was dead. People were talking about M5 being over a couple days ago.
Just listen to this crowd.
Now they might be the best team in the world.
They could be. And the thing is, they've not done particularly bad ever. And that's the thing that people just kind of stopped saying that they were the best. But they didn't really lose that much, did they?
They never forgot, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They came in with a passion, and they've certainly pleased the crowd. It is Gambit Gaming taking the Intel Extreme Masters. And you know what? They are the world champions of the Intel Extreme Masters.
Well, that's it. They have that record.
Their tournament.
This is their tournament. I mean, they've not lost a single Intel Extreme Masters tournament that they've participated in. That is a phenomenal record. That gives us then Kiev. That gives CBIT. That gives Gamescom.
Diamond Proxy shirt. This is my jungle.
Nice.
And he's talking about the enemy's jungle. That's the ironic part about that one. But yeah, congratulations here to Gambit Gaming. They certainly deserve it. A fantastic turnaround from the caster's desk, from myself, Demon, and Jack. That is it. It's been a lot of fun, as per usual, guys. So thank you very much for being here. And we're going to throw it over once again to Panky and Jason for one last time to break down what was an amazing second game there between Gambit and Azubu Blaze.
I don't think we need to say anything right now. Just listen to the crowd as everyone's cheering for Gambit Gaming. And
They're all standing up. Every single person in this crowd standing up and cheering for Gambit Gaming, and rightly so. That was an incredible way to win this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Gambit going from the brink of elimination in day 1, coming back and winning it all, and 2-0ing Azubu, both of them.
Both of them, exactly. Absolutely incredible. And it was a masterclass in how to do it. Everything just went right. Everything went their way. Ganking, counter-ganking, positioning, split pushing, countering split pushes. Everything perfect. Their calls were there. Like the really early, the rushed Barons, which a lot of teams would not want to risk. They knew what they had. They knew they were safe if they disengaged it. They knew what happened if Gambit, if Azubu Frost came in for it. And they just had that coordination. They had those calls. They had that teamwork. And they took it through to victory.
Yeah, and the thing is, sorry, most games are actually decided like pretty early on, like the first blood. We saw a lot of games coming down into the bot lane, actually 4-man ganks. Actually, our first replay is going to be about the red invade you saw out of Blaze and how Gambit actually countered. Can you kind of set up this clip for us?
I really like in this sense the fact that this is exactly what Azubu tried to do to Gambit, to Gambit in the first game of the weekend. It's what Blaze did to them at that level 1 in that first match. They took Helios in on the red, they put 2 AD carry in support mid lane, pushed it right the way up there. Before Diamondprox even got to his red buff, they were in there, they were ready to repel him as soon as he got there, then they stole it. They tried it again. Not going to happen twice with Gambit. Gambit were ready, and this is a masterclass in how to stop that kind of invade.
All right, let's get that replay on the screen for you guys, and we'll go ahead and go over that for you. As we see the invade coming out of them right now.
We saw Gambit obviously in here for Azubu in here first, as we expected. Edward coming out from the top lane, leaving Genji behind a little bit just until they were sure they needed it. Diamond held off, let them group up, let them close in and let Azubu go a little bit too deep. Baemon's making a way across to the mid lane, but Genji was closer. So with a quick stun coming down from Edward, Tarek obviously allowing him to do that. Lost Boy is the focus, he's the squishy target. First blood is that 400 gold. Doesn't matter if you're focusing the support. And he fails the flash, which results in the first kill. Edward is then going very low. Captain Jack's in that bush. They don't have vision for it just yet until they get in there thanks to that ward. And Ali's coming on the backside. Unfortunately, they do lose Edward, but with a quick double flash over the waterfall onto Captain Jack, they do manage to get another kill onto those ever important AD carry and AP carry. That sets them up for an incredibly powerful first game. The enemy kill, yes, it went onto the jungler, not quite ideal. Mundo can scale very, very well, but it's better than it was going to Captain Jack or something like that. Edward managed to get himself away from that, catch the cleaver, instead of catching another auto attack from Captain Jack for that kill.
Yeah, it was such an amazing collapse we saw. I mean, it was kind of a really bad position for Blaze to be in, but Gambit kind of capitalized on it. And so we're going to go ahead and go to another replay very soon. We're just going to sort it out. And one thing is, we have to point out that the junglers kind of were leading the team, and we had Diamondprox go 4-0-8 in that game. We had Alexich 4-1-5, Genja 5-1-8, and even Edward, 2-2-7. He got on the scoreboard there. And Gambit Gaming, they're just playing so aggressive.
Yeah, it was that constant aggression, as we say now. Gambit heading up into this top lane. Diamondprox initiating. It was 3 versus 2 at this point, but Flame's already a little bit low. Lusty Boy is down in there a little bit, got his abilities on cooldown. Helios trying to channel that, keep going. But yes, the rest of Gambit were coming up around the backside. They're roaming up the river through this jungle. Captain Jack was here, but they're immediately taking Genja down very low. Flame now leads out of that bush, uses that Shadow Dash, trying to get the distance between it, just about skips it away. Lusty Boy knocked up as Genja comes in. He could auto attack Lusty Boy here, but he waits until he's going in the wrong direction, allowed Diamond to pick up that kill, while the rest of Gambit have cut them off, split them in half. Helios, okay, he had his ult running, he's a very tanky member, but he was just split off and focused down. There's nothing they can do about it. Nice heal from Ambition over the wall, allowing Captain Jack to get safe and out, but a quick reaction from Alex, knowing that's where he must be. They didn't have vision of it, but it's the only place he could have been. Flashing over, following up. Quick ultimate flash and slow away from Ambition to try and save it, but it's not quite enough. Genja still has his flash, he still has just about enough mana for a quick Mystic shot after that auto attack. There is that ult coming in from Shen, but Flame was already very low from before, so the shield's there to save Ambition, but Flame immediately has to run straight out of there himself, and not out of the woods yet. Genja's still coming. Diamondprox has a lot of movement speed here. His mobility boots 5 have kicked in, which is why he's catching up with him, keeping this going. Genja is in range for an auto there, but there's no vision around the wall. As soon as Diamond comes around, he can get in there, he can use that Audacious charge, and he picks up their 3rd kill of that fight.
Yeah, we do have to point out that Diamondprox, every game today, I believe, he actually went for that Lock of the Orange Slurry as his first item every time, and that allowed them to do some more turret diving, allowed them to soak up a lot more damage. For instance, against Frost, we had a Singed on our team, and with that, actually they ran 2 of them with that, they were able to soak up enough damage to survive. It's such an amazing item, and it's probably a little bit underrated. What is it? Read the stats for us.
As I said, it's obviously there's a lot of health. There's armor, 425, 35 armor, 10% cooldown reduction, which is a big deal in this game.
Especially for Zen.
Cooldown reduction is a very underrated stat by a lot of players. Then there's health regen, which is very useful for a jungler, of course. And then the active, shielding yourself and allies for 50 plus 10 per level. That starts to become a very powerful shield later on. And as I mentioned, it is a very strong item since the rework. A lot of people haven't quite noticed yet, but Gambit are one of those teams that starts to initiate all these new things, starts to bring in, they are the innovators that we've talked about so much this tournament, and we're going to start seeing a lot more lockers of the Iron Solari, not just on junglers but on supports too. I've seen a lot of them start rushing in first item. It's a lot of armor for that bottom lane, it's cooldown reduction, which is exactly what I love, it's health, which is the most important stat for a support at the moment, and giving that support, giving that heal and that shield, which is more powerful than heals at the moment, because you ignite or you're healing debuffs and they're going to get halved. Shields can't do that. Shields stack, shields can get very strong. We've seen entire comps, Singapore Sentinels run an entire comp around shields. This is a very strong shield item, and that still stacks up with all the others.
And for everyone that's already qualified for Season 3, the people who are trying to qualify for Season 3, that's kind of a warning shot to them. That's like, hey, we're Gambit Gaming now, and we are prepared to play for Season 3 and potentially win that as well. I know everyone in Reddit and Twitch even in Twitter, we're rooting for Gambit Gaming. Everyone here was rooting for them, and they came out with the win. And they look relieved on stage right now. I mean, you have to, after 4-0ing the Azubus.
Oh, not just that, you have to look relieved. They just about scraped it through the group stage. And they got lucky, to be completely honest. If that ruling wasn't there, if it was slightly different, if we were using the same style of groups that IPL has, I think there's all these different factors that would have had them knocked out. They got in about 60 seconds, they came back and they fought for their lives. They knew they were lucky to get out, and they played their hearts out. 4-0ing Azubu is no mean feat, and they made it look easy. Simple as that. Every game, solid aggression, consistent aggression.